Welcome back. Former President Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison because he dared to dream of a South Africa where everybody had equal rights. Last year, on the 5th of December, the world united following the news of his passing. Today, we remember a historic moment in his life. Exactly 24 years ago to the day, Madiba walked out of the gates of Victor Verster prison a free man. We're now joined in the studio by his longtime friend and former fellow prison inmate, Ahmed Kathrada. Thank you very much, sir, for coming in this morning to be with us. Yes, we're remembering the day in which someone whom you regarded as your elder brother walked out of prison on the 11th of February in 1990. Can you remember, where were you? You'd been released with other leaders in 1989.
That's right.
Where were you on that day? Can you share that with us?
I was in Johannesburg, hoping to go to Cape Town, but the BBC had me, and they wanted me to take them to various prisons where he was detained. So I could not go to Cape Town.
So you were actually busy working on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
I watched it on television.
Okay, and how did you feel when you saw that moment?
Well, it was expected. So, we knew beforehand. But still, it was a very important, very emotional moment, in spite of the fact that we knew it, because he was among the very last to be released.
Yes, and the announcement had been made on the 2nd of February by President de Klerk at the time. Now, when you left Robben Island, when you were freed and knowing that he was remaining behind, was that an easy situation for you, for the rest of you, or
No.
you had already met his leaders and discussed that it was okay?
Actually, what had happened is after 18 years on Robben Island, we were transferred to Portsmouth prison. He was then further transferred to Groot-Drakenstein, Victor Verster. That's where he was for the last year of his prison. So we visited him from time to time.
So it was all, in your minds, it was clear that the day was coming for him to come out.
Yes, well, he's very, he started talking to the other side while he was a prisoner. And his whole aim was to get the government to talk to the ANC. And he said, in order to do that, you have to facilitate these talks by releasing all political prisoners, by allowing the exiles to come back and unbanning the organizations. So after some years, they met with every requirement. And then, of course, his release, and then after the talk started, the negotiated settlement.
Were you aware of the first time he was having discussions with the National Party government at the time?
He was already isolated from, we were 5 of us, he was already isolated from us. But in prison, you always find a way of knowing things.
Yes.
And a friendly warder, he was very friendly with me. He just managed to say that, look, I'm going to tell you something, but you're not going to tell Sisulu and others. I said, all right, tell me. He said, last night we took Mandela to the house of the Minister of Justice. So that was enough for us to know what was happening.
That the discussions were happening.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, having spent so many years in jail, and then February was coming, it was ushering a new era in South Africa. Your release and that of other leaders like Walter Sisulu, Govan Mbeki, Andrew Mlangeni, and Raymond Mhlamba, all of them out of prison, plus Madibas, meant that South Africa was now going to be moving firmly into a new era. At the time, just to reflect, were you, as the political leadership collective, confident that the way forward was going to be a successful democratic process?
Oh yes, I think by the time Madiba was released, we were on the way to a peaceful transformation. The other side had also agreed to the interim constitution, so it was a mutual agreement, and that led to the peaceful transition.
Yeah. Well, he's passed on now. He passed away in December, about 2 months ago, and we are leaving South Africa without him. If you're looking ahead, we've got elections coming up. It's our 20th year of democracy. What would be your message to us, I mean, as a leader, to say this is the kind of legacy we want to carry through in the name of Nelson Mandela?
Well, Madiba was a disciplined, courageous, committed leader. He was always emphasizing, he is not a saint, he is part of a collective. And it's only as a collective that there's a way forward. And we will remember him for his commitment to democracy. Most important, his commitment to discipline, loyalty. Those are hallmarks of his quality. And as we approaching the new elections, we must remember one of those: commitment to democracy, discipline, loyalty. Those are things that we must always remember.
Okay.
The fact that democracy came with sacrifices. It didn't just fall from heaven. It came with responsibilities. And people will always have to remember that it came, there's responsibility to the, especially to the youth, responsibility to themselves, to their parents, to their country. And they must remember it, freedom did not fall from heaven, it was fought for.
Okay. I just finally, before you leave, I need to ask you this because we don't normally get to talk to you. You are busy currently, you're busy with the foundation work. Is that keeping you busy enough? I mean, you've retired from active politics since you left Parliament in the late 90s.
Yes, it's very important to always bear in mind that the policy was for a non-racial, non-sexist, democratic South Africa. Fortunately, we have made a lot of progress. Every university, I think the majority are not white anymore. Their heads are not white anymore. So in every respect, we have made progress. But we have a long way to go still. And those responsibilities we must always remember. The challenges are new, no longer apartheid. Challenges are poverty, hunger, disease, unemployment, crime. Those are the challenges. And we hope that the people of South Africa, particularly the young people, will respond to the challenges that are ahead of them.
Thank you very much. That's Madiba's long-time friend, Ahmed Kathrada.
Know more about your world. ENCA.com